I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something. In certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so. No, I think that's possible. Like I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud can crack too. So.
How is Crawford, his composure, going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford. He's
weight classes.
He's the most composed guy. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No. You think it'll be, oh my God, I didn't realize what I was getting myself into. That ain't happening with Crawford. Yeah. He knows exactly what he's getting himself and why. He's the one looking for it. He don't have nobody with a gun behind him saying you got to go do this. He's the one. And look, it's a tremendous challenge because Canelo's a tremendous fighter and bigger and strong, and he can obviously he can punch and he can time you and he can do all the things that have made him so special. There's no doubt about it. But we're forgetting about those things I just talked about with Crawford just because he's smaller. We're forgetting that. He'll come up with a game plan where he won't let the other guy use his size. Do you remember somebody named Manny Pacquiao when he was making his bones, the first time he hit the big stage? He got all these great fighters here. It was with a guy named Oscar De La Hoya, a hell of a fighter. And everyone said, oh, it'd be too small for him. And then I said, I got to say, I got one right. I said, how about Manny's going to be too fast for him? Oh, Teddy, guys, how about he's going to be too quick? How about he's going to be like a couple of those mosquitoes and gnats at a barbecue and disrupt the whole damn barbecue? How about that? Yeah. Well, how about Crawford disrupts the whole damn barbecue? I know he's got this. I know he's got this. I know he's got the character, and I know he's got the mind. I know he has special gifts that very few fighters have. The only two I know that have it right now is him and Inoue. Although Tyson Fury and Usyk are in the mix, they're pretty special. Those guys, they know how to win, and they find ways to win. You're on the floor like you got hit with a shotgun, like Fury was with the first round, and you get up. You find a way to get up. From that, you're special, and you have something beyond physical ability, beyond boxing IQ that we all like to make ourselves sound so smart. We say, oh, who's got the boxing IQ? But there are other things too, and Crawford's got those things. Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring that very few people have, and to see things that nobody else can see because he slows it down, where other people don't see it. And that's what makes his timing so special. Yeah, he's got great power. He carried it up. Yeah, he's got good hand speed. Yeah, he's got all that. He's got good technique. His coaches do a tremendous job with him. But the timing is impeccable. It's better than anyone else's. Why? Because of this. Because he's able, his vision in the ring, his eyes, but he's able to slow things down for himself, where he can see things in a slow pace that someone else sees in a blur. And that's why he's
in the Matrix.
Well, he is like that. And that is why he is, all top fighters are calm in an uncalm environment. But he takes it another step, the step that I just explained. And when a guy has that ingredient, and very, very few have, I can't count him out in anything. I can't count, because another thing he's got going for him. For him at this point, yeah, everyone wants to get paid. And God bless him. Anyone who gets in that ring should get paid for the risk they take. And I'm so happy he's getting paid, and he's gotten paid now. But for him, it's more. It's legacy. It's challenge. It's what we used to see in the '80s. What made Hearns and Duran and all the Leonard. All these great Pinnell, I mean, one after another. What Hagler? What made them so? Yeah, they were special generational talents. I get it. But they all wanted to find out not how good they were, how good could they be? And they were willing to take that challenge and that risk. And that was beyond money. It wasn't like, okay, you're going to get paid. No, I want that fight. Yeah, I'll get paid, but I already got paid. But I want that fight now because I really want to see where I'm supposed to be. I want to see what rooms I can open up in my house that I haven't opened up yet, and to find out what's in that room. And there's only one way that you can do that, to challenge yourself with special talent. And very few people have the appetite for that, the inclination for that. Mr. Crawford, he does. And I ain't never going against that guy. I'm not. Father Time might catch him, but I don't know if a weight class can catch him.
Tough. That's a tall order. It's a tough task, I would think, for Terrence. But at the same time, I would back him. I think that his skill level is up there with the greatest. I don't think we've seen anything like Terrence Crawford. In all my years of boxing, I know that for a fact. I do study history. I've never seen anybody that has everything. Good speed, power, timing, can switch the way he switches, to have the toughness, the meanness that he has, the way he finishes guys, the way he breaks down guys. He's one of the smartest guys that I've ever seen in the ring, right up there with Floyd Mayweather. So, yeah, I would pick Terrence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't going to tell you why I would pick Terrence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight. So,
Is it like a skill set? Is it like a preparation thing, or?
Nope, and not. Nope, I'm not. Just gonna put it like this: if the fight was to happen, you will see. Yeah.
Because a lot of people think Terrence can compete, but once he touches Canelo, because he's been hit by bigger guys, he's not gonna. I don't want to say show him respect, but he's gonna be able to go, okay, I could walk through this. I could take a little risk and set up my traps, cut the ring off, dig to the body, and wear Terrence down over the rounds.
I'm just gonna tell you like this: if Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, or you really think that he's gonna knock out Crawford? Charlo was on his bike. Charlo was trying not to get hit. Canelo landed some shots. He dropped them, but he still didn't stop him. He didn't stop him. So with that being said, if Crawford can get off, not get hit with the big shots, avoid those big shots, get off again, avoid those big shots, because you see the punches coming. Canelo is so predictable, dude. You know a hook is coming. You know when the right hand is coming. You know he's going down to the body. He gives it away. There's a tail with him. There really is. And it's usually off the high guard. He comes in, he marches forward, then boom. Crawford's going to be able to see all of that. He's too knowledgeable inside the ring. His IQ is too high. If he can avoid the shots, avoid the big bum, and not get knocked out, he can outbox Canelo. It doesn't matter. He don't have to knock him out. He can outbox him, outpoint him.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tried to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not going to always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. Yeah. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terrence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terrence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch. And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now, if you don't have a skill, you can't take it up because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. When you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT. I went out with a heavyweight.
No, it's a lot of the people, which is why I brought up, would use the weight as an advantage for Canelo. But I agree, and you're right. Canelo fights obviously taller fighters all the time and wins. It's about skill as opposed to, a lot of the time anyway, as opposed to weight.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really worried about the weight. I'm worried about the skill level that they use during the fight.
More like a 60-40, only because of the weight difference, but you can't take Crawford's skill away. You have to give him credit for skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring, and I think it's like 60-40.
I don't like the fight because Terrence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. What's that mean?
Right, weight classes.
Right? Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terrence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terrence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terrence Crawford, but Terrence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination of punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
I mean, to a purist and a fighter, it's laughable because you have Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo, who's a natural light heavyweight. Crawford, who couldn't push back Madrimov. Life and death with Madrimov. What do you think Canelo's going to do to him? Run him out of the ring.
That's why we have weight classes. Size does matter. And in most cases, we get those moments in history where size didn't matter, but that's why it's history. But most of the time, it's the right call. I think he got a lot of fish to fry underneath where he's comfortable. Don't put yourself at a disadvantage. Put yourself at an advantage. It's only fair.
Now it's just like, whoever great, just make them fight each other. Like, whoever look great type shit. Crawford needs the money.
Crawford needs the money?
Yeah, he needs the money.
You think he had a chance to win? But what makes you say that?
He needs the money. I'm telling you.
Does he need the money? Does he have a chance to win?
Tyron ain't paying like that, and they ain't playing like that.
So
I want to see they ain't paying like that.
He's going up three or four weight classes. You think the chances of him?
That's why he say why he don't like me. Cause I spit the real shit.
Going up those weight classes to face him, how can you convince fans that he can beat Canelo?
I ain't trying to convince y'all that he can beat Canelo. He's a good fighter, but bro, I would say smaller fighters are always better than bigger fighters because they're smaller, they know how to move and things like that. But this guy is great at what he do. And another thing, bro, I don't be wanting to how these guys is. Then he get hurt against
Madrimov.
Who?
There you talking about Crawford got touched by Madrimov? Is that what you're saying?
No, you got clipped by Gamboa, right?
Yeah,
right? What the fuck is he? He's looking this strong over the past year. These years. He ain't been getting clipped or nothing. So now, that's that snack shit. I'm telling you. Y'all laugh. I'm telling you.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54. And people were like, oh my God, this guy's so big, Margarito. But your speed made the difference in that fight. Well, what advice would you give a smaller guy like Crawford to fight someone like Canelo who's a lot bigger and stronger, having lived through it?
Preparing like that opponents, is not only the speed, but the techniques that you can use in the fight. Like, make sure that in your daily routine, training routine, like that, make sure that all the techniques, strategy, combination, it's accurate to your opponent's style. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you have a exam, a math exam tomorrow, you have to review right now a math subject. You don't need to review English subject or a science subject. You have to review math subject because tomorrow you're going to have a exam. You're going to exam a math subject. That's
a hard exam.
I think it's a ridiculous fight myself. I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. I think that look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed will, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight. But as the fight goes on, Canelo's going to start pounding on him, and I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and 12th round.
You really figure because of the size difference, he can stop Crawford?
Well, absolutely. I think that anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt him. He won't be able to catch him early because, like I said, the speed and the foot speed and the hand speed. And Crawford's a heck of a fighter at his own weight. 54 when he fought Madrimov in his last fight showed us that he can't really, the weight makes a difference. I don't care how much weight he gains and how much he does to try to get up to that level, 168, is going to make a difference.
You have unique perspective on a subject that's been of a lot of talk in the States. Terrence Crawford wanting to move up 3 divisions to fight Canelo. You fought both. You moved up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo in your fight in Las Vegas. Yeah, what do you think about Terrence wanting to fight Canelo? Is that a good idea for him?
You know what? I love both fighters, man. And even though I fought them, but you know when you fight them and we did all the build-up, they were nothing but respectful. Yeah. I just feel that, you know, in boxing, weight divisions are made there they make them for a purpose. And I highly respect and say pound for pound the best fighter is Crawford by far, and beats anyone. But when you start putting weight on and you go up a weight and you fight these guys like Canelo, even though Canelo might be now getting a little bit older and it might be slowing down a little bit, but he's still going to be very dangerous. That punch power, you're still going to get tagged, you're still going to get hit. You're going to have to spar heavier guys to get ready for that anyway, so you're going to be taking a lot of wear and tear anyway. You're going to have to put adding a few pounds on. Does he need to put that pressure on himself? He's done what no one's ever done before. 2-time undisputed world champion. So why not just enjoy? But obviously you want to go for that next challenge. Now for him, he wants to go for that Canelo. I would advise him not to go for that. Yeah. But if he's the man and he knows how good he is himself. So I can't really say to him that do this or do that. So really,
he believes in his skills. He feels
he believes in his skill. Yeah. We can't answer for him. Yeah. We let him go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And we all might be wrong. Yeah. He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. Yeah. That he might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. Like what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's weight.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much weight? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
I don't
prove anything.
Canelo would say payday, but Crawford wants to be 3-time undisputed, and if he does that, oh my goodness!
Wow, I mean that would be unreal. But look, if he believes in himself, yes, go for it. Yeah. But don't do it if he's got second thoughts. If he's got second thoughts, don't do it. If he has to be 100% confident, and listen, I'll even go and help him for that if I have to. Oh, yeah? You know what I mean? Because look, I love Crawford. I think he's a lovely guy. Because I got to know him when I trained with him, away from the boxing ring, away from boxing, and the guy's he's a diamond. You know what I mean? So if I can help him in any way, I'd love to do that. But look, but if I was him, just enjoy what you've got now, and don't take no risks.
If they're each going to fight, really fight, I think it's terrific. It's very interesting. But again, if I had to pay money to watch that fight, I wouldn't do it, because Canelo has shown in his last few fights that he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the big check. But again, if Canelo really fights, because I think safe to say Terrence always fights. He doesn't know anything else. So then it could be a very good, interesting fight.
You've always praised Terrence as a special fighter. Do you think he can beat Canelo?
Who is Canelo? What Canelo is going to show up? The Canelo who's looking to cash a big check, or the Canelo that really wants to fight like a fighter? Now, the Canelo we've seen the last 2 years is not only boring, but doesn't really have an incentive to mix it up and to entertain people with a good fight.
In your opinion, can Crawford win though? Can he win?
He can, of course he can.
Would you favor Canelo or Crawford in the fight? Like, how do you think the fight goes?
It goes Crawford will try to keep on the distance Canelo, and he will try to use his long distance and moving. But what will happen, only God knows.
Do you
Could
feel
he
though?
keep him full distance on the distance? Does it make sense?
Yeah,
Or-
it does. To keep the distance.
Yeah, full all fight. I don't know if he could. Will he? But also, just to keep Canelo on this distance, it's not just enough. He has good defense. His body movements, it's great. You know, to reach his head, you need to throw not only 1-2 punches. You need to throw 5-7 punches, and one punch you will score. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes, yeah.
You will miss like five punches, but one of them, 6 punch will reach him. Why this fight could be interesting? Because the styles, because the Crawford style is really is not comfortable for Canelo, but the weight class is not benefits for him. I think he should put more efforts than Canelo to win this fight, of course, but he could.
What do you mean?
I mean, Canelo has more chances to win because he's big. He has also good defense, but Crawford has also good sides, and for Canelo, he need to put less efforts than Crawford. If it makes sense, I don't know, to win this fight.
No. I see what you're saying. Like, Crawford has to work more.
Yeah, he has to work
Yeah.
more. Yeah, a lot. He has to work a lot to win this fight.
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size, and obviously the power, and Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a lot much bigger guys. So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight. First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just beat Crawford. Show his IQ, show him why he's a 2-time undisputed, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. There's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. That could be a difference in the fight. Because obviously, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a foot of power. I'm a foot of that size difference, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses,
we'll just all know that, hey, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he can't really, he's testing himself. Testing himself a great, I guess, a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him. I don't got no doubt in my mind. He's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, and I don't think none's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
It could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm with it. So, I'll be going for Bud. If he fight Canelo.
You got Crawford over Bud? I mean, you got Crawford over Canelo? Sorry.
I'll be going for him. I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going for Crawford. I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
But
he's chasing greatness, so why not?
But don't you think maybe it's just he's reaching a little bit more than, or I guess biting more than he can chew because
Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't Crawford do it?
Yeah, I think Canelo is too big. It doesn't make sense. I've said before, I'd love to fight Terrence. I think that if he was ever going to be able to get into the ring with Canelo, he would need to step up and fight me first. If he was able to get through me, then he can go for Canelo. But they wouldn't do that because they know what would happen.
I feel the same way I feel when Canelo fought Caleb Plant. I was telling people, if Caleb is in 15-round shape, he can fuck around and get Canelo. He'll have to be able to keep him turning. He got to keep that stick on his ass, keep him guessing. I think he'll be able to get it. Caleb was not in 15-round shape. If not, come 8, 9, or 10, Canelo gonna start walking his ass down like Jason. I feel the same way about, Bud. He's moving up in weight. I think it speaks volumes on him as a person to be willing to jump up multiple weight classes to try to compete against someone. And not to mention, we prize fighters. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing it for the bag too. But I think in order for him to pull it off, he got to be in 15-round shape. If he's not, I don't see him getting that fight. I think Canelo gonna get his ass out in the later half of the fight.
I think Canelo does win by knockout. I think he does win by knockout, and that's only because of the weight. You can't jump up from 54 to 68 fighting the best of the best, even though you're the best yourself. It's too much of a weight jump, man. But listen, you never know. You can't write off Crawford, but I think Canelo will knock him out.
That's like a 50-50, 60-40. You gotta lean towards Canelo because he's been at that weight for a long time now, and he been pitting big guys out and things like that. And Crawford a little smaller, so he be dropping these guys and things like that. So and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. It's gonna be a great fight. The fans want to see it, so. So be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60 or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing that. I think he's like waiting and going straight into it in September.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
You would be crazy to think Canelo can't win this fight with his power, strength, and this man ain't never been hurt, really never been in trouble before. But that one time,
shout out to Cotto, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that one time, the Cotto,
the younger brother, the other brother. Yeah,
that's the only time we seen Canelo shook up. So he learned how to either take a punch or not get hit with that punch. Smart. You feel me? Tank, man, one of the most gifted.
What you mean Bud?
Bud. I'm sorry, Bud. One of the most gifted fighters out there, bro. And he got it the hard way. You feel me? The hard way. Through work, commitment, and dedication. And being a leader, he's really led a lot of these young champions. You feel me? So Crawford has stood out from the beginning, bro. Different. Now, can he hurt Canelo? That's going to be the key. That's gonna be the key, because you can't knock nothing out you can't hurt. You can't knock nobody out, you can't hurt them. Now, if Crawford is in here to do 12 grueling rounds with a strong fighter like Canelo, I think his best game plan is to box, be elusive, in and out. You feel me? But never stand still long enough for Canelo to dig 3 or 4 on you, you know, with your back against the rope. So it's a way to win. His fight style gonna have to be locked, and Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. Even when I beat a guy 8-4. That's a draw for me. That's a draw. So it depends on who you feel me? Different folks for different strokes for different folks. You feel me? So you gotta be, can Canelo or can Crawford win a close decision? I don't think so. I don't know. Canelo is Canelo. You feel me? So now that could be a situation or issue. If Crawford win 8-4, they say it's a draw, or they give it to Canelo. You know, so in the back of my mind, that's what's looming. I think if Crawford is going to guarantee victory, he got to stop him.
A man who ain't been stopped.
He got to stop him, bro.
It's
so
challenge.
That's going to be the challenge. Can he hurt him, and can he prevent from getting knocked out?
We'll see.
I'm Bud County all the way, because when you look at, and I just see a lot of it remind me of me, bro. A lot of what he had to go through, what he had to overcome, and how he's standing on it. You feel me? No matter who with him or not, he with him, and that's all he need. He with him. You feel me? So I like Bud. I've always loved Bud, bro. But he in for a hell of a fight. If Saul show up, it's gonna be problems. You heard me?
I've seen Canelo pushed around. I've never seen Terrence pushed around. So when you're talking about who's going to be the boss, I've never seen anyone boss Terrence Crawford. I've seen Canelo get bossed. So that psychologically, when you think about that, and this is a fight where I flip flop on both guys because there's so many good points. Yeah, but he's 168. Yeah, but it's Terrence Crawford. He's undefeated. Well, yeah, no, this guy's beating this, but you know, stylistic. Even he hits him on the arm. There's so many different things you can talk about. But from a psychological standpoint, who's fresher, who's meaner, who wants it more? You know, that's going to come into play. I've worked a lot of Canelo fights, and Canelo fight weeks are great. He plays to the crowd really well. His fans are awesome. I'm thinking about the Caleb Plant situation. I'm thinking about the Billy's Joe Saunders situation. When he gets that in his head that, you know, he's got an extra chip, he becomes a really dangerous man. And like you said about Bud, and Bud is one of those guys. He just locks in. Especially when you doubt him. So yeah, it's a really interesting matchup. I think of it more from psychological than anything, you know, because on paper it's like, yeah, but he's a super middleweight. He went up 3. Now Terrence is going up 3 weight classes. He had a little trouble with Majima. So on paper it's like, yeah, of course it's Canelo. But when you think about it from a psychological standpoint, it's like, I don't know, man. Bud's different.
Terrence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure towards somewhere near the top. And it's exciting.
Who you got, though?
I'm just a fan that night, watching. I give him a chance. You know, Terrence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox, southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside. And he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why, you know, I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and, you know, be able to find out firsthand.
Listen, I love Crawford. He's a good friend. You know, we reach out to each other. We've travel the world through the amateur program. He see me beat people up. I see him beat people up. He see me get beat up. I got beat up. We both, whatever. Everybody. The stories can go on, but yeah, when it comes to weight and power, man, that shit is real. You know,
And then skills too, skill level too. Like Canelo's not no pushover. Look what he did to the little girl Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlo, big bad wolf, and he ran the whole night off of a couple of hooks. I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to start getting shots and blocking them power shots, and Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility. It's not like a robot. I mean, it's going to be tough. My opinion is my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo. But still, do I think he can give him a good fight? And I'll be sitting there rooting for Crawford all day. I'm put all my money. I'm always going to bet on black, always. But in reality of it, I just think Canelo knows how to fight. He knows how to come in big, and he can throw hard shots. He's a technical guy too. Look what he did to Colin Smith, hitting elbows, hitting arms, hitting all this other stuff. He's going to use those same type of tactics on the smaller guy. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just talking real boxing facts. I'm not trying to be in this fantasy world because it's not what I'm in.
When you're at a level, when you're coming off a big win like Crawford just did, anything you say reverberates through the sport.
Do you think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez?
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know. so I don't know. I think that's a lot of weight class jumping. But we'll see.
I would say Crawford wins the fight based off of the skill set. That's the first and foremost. I think the biggest worry for me when it comes to that is just the size difference. Because obviously, great Mike Tyson said, you have a game plan until you actually get in there and you get hit, and then that changes the whole outskite of the fight. So I'm hoping that he's able to endure what Canelo's going to bring, but I think he has the skill set to be able to be like eluding all of the big shots and hit, not get hit. What does brother Nassim said? He has the most famous quote, swim without getting wet. And so I believe if Crawford could be that the night of the fight, I think he'll be successful. I think it'll be a big shot, but not to the ones that know, right? Canelo is the man, like take nothing away from him, right? But I mean, if you really look at skill set, not putting in the factors of weight and power, I think we kind of got to lead with Crawford.
At the end of the day, they're two great pound-for-pound fighters, and if they feel like, it makes sense and they want to fight each other, stylistically, it's a great fight. But, Canelo, he's a big dude. So, and I think it'd be hard for anyone to beat him at 168. But, it's definitely a big money fight, and that's why we're all in boxing, to make the biggest fights and try to be great.
At 154, he didn't really look too dangerous, Crawford, up in the ring, but against a beast. So imagine Canelo being the bigger guy, being the beast up in the ring. It's almost like a no contest. I mean, come on. When has a smaller, good guy ever beaten a good, bigger guy? It's never happened in the history of the sport.
Canelo probably has to be the matador in this one.
He has to be the what?
Matador. Yeah.
Matador. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to, basically, let me see. No, the bull.
The bull.
You got to be able to be the bull.
Canelo has to be the bull in this one.
You got to be it because I think you find somebody faster, more athletic. You got to put the. I mean, whatever it is that he's doing, he has to be better at that than he is at any other night in his life. The smaller guy is generally faster than the bigger guy. Speed is going to be the thing that kind of controls this fight. Whether it's foot speed or hand speed. So I don't know what, I saw that fight or whatever, but I'm just saying the faster you are, the smaller you are, the faster you are. That's why a little bitty guy can come in the gym and spar a big guy and beat him up. Yeah. Because the old bigger guy may have the skill set and technique, and he's just too slow. So it just depends on, the speed is going to be the thing that kind of tells the difference about this fight, I believe. If Crawford still has the speed and his athleticism, it'll be difficult for Canelo. His timing has to be on point. So I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying Crawford has to use his hand speed, his athleticism, and Canelo has to use his timing. His timing has to be impeccable. Because if not, he's going to be behind him all night long. Meaning that he's going to miss him. He's going too slow. So just depends. And the thing about Crawford is he believes he's on it. Like he believes he's the one.
So that's the difference between him and any other fighter that Canelo fight. Because Canelo, people fight the idea of Canelo Alvarez opposed to fighting the individual. The thought of him is what puts fear in their heart. But he doesn't care about that because he's Terrence Crawford, so it's a totally different thing. So if he can implement his strategy and ride it out to the end of the fight, he's going to be successful. But if Canelo can do what he needs to do, and his timing has to be on point, because he's not that fast as Crawford is. It's all about timing.
I honestly believe Crawford is the stronger of the two of them, physically. Just because wrestling in his martial arts background, I just feel now he's finally been able to just kind of fulfill himself at that bigger weight now. Now, will the punches affect him with the Canelo? I think so. Vice versa, you know what I mean? So I think Terrence is going to pull it out, but you never know, this is boxing. I'm a big Canelo fan as well.
I love Terrence Crawford, and I want him to have what he wants. But off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting my dream off, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough, and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots. I might have thought a few months ago that I would give Crawford a logical chance to win the fight. He is the most skilled pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I just don't think he's big enough and strong enough to take on Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
I mean, there is no way that Terrence Crawford, being to me my favorite fighter, I mean, the best fighter pound for pound, can be Canelo. I mean, a 147 pounder moving up to 68, I mean, he can only maybe go 2-3 rounds, good 2-3 rounds, and then Canelo hits him and he hurts him. Canelo's being hit by Triple G, the hardest hitter in the division, and never hurt him. But Canelo will hit Crawford and he'll hurt him.
Well, for my money, Terrence Crawford on skill set is in a different ballpark than Canelo. But when you move up in weight, Canelo's a strong man, he's a game man, he's a fighting man, give him his due. But I just see Crawford being out on his own in the boxing skills of the world. Canelo's good, but look what happened with Dimitri Bivol. You know, Bivol beat him, didn't he? So at the end of the day, on Crawford, for my money, his league's ahead of all them guys, isn't he, in ability? You've got to give a man credit. He's one of the best now up-and-coming greats he'll be, Terrence Crawford.
So his skill's so great that it balances out the weight difference between him and Canelo if they fight.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, you know, and the only thing Canelo can do is get close and let the shots go, but he's not going to get close to him, is he? He's too skillful, his mindset's good, you know, and at the end of the day, he's got everything, that kid, and good luck to him in his career. He'll be one of the up-and-coming greats for now, he will.
Be a points. I think Canelo will win it, but not by the biggest of margins. But then if Crawford come and turn the event on his head and won on points, I wouldn't be surprised. Because he is that kind of talent that could do it. He is a great fighter, and he's not dancing to another's tune. He's going to rip up the script and do what he wants to do. But I'm excited to watch this as a fan and just enjoy the night.
Right now, my position changed. I think Crawford is too fast and too smart for Canelo. Even Canelo is a good boxer. I'm not saying like nothing from not taking nothing from Canelo, but the way like when you see like, oh, he's too big, when you see Usyk fights and what Usyk did to the big guys like Joshua and Fury, so the size and that doesn't matter. I think the skill level matters, and Crawford, he gained weight, but I think he's gonna be like even faster, and like his head was good in the ring. He's like boxing IQ just on top. So I would say 50-50, but right now I'm kind of leaning more to Crawford.
And that's just because of what you saw Usyk do?
It's not like I'm just giving an example, like size doesn't matter in the boxing. When they say like, oh, like Canelo is big and he's fighting like 175, 168, and Crawford just moving from like 147, 154. So I'm just putting an example that size doesn't matter, and like that the fighter makes the fight. I think it's just like that. I see that Crawford's training and that he's big too right now. So he gained weight, but not like, and lots of people gain weight like that. Sloppy weight, like I would say, like fat, but he looked like strong, massively strong. So I think it's gonna be a good one.
A lot of people are counting Crawford out. Crawford's a fucking beast. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Canelo, you know, I mean, he's not that big of a guy. He obviously weighs more, but I mean, you can't take nothing from Crawford. He goes in there to win. So I mean, I feel like it'd be a good fight. You know, it sucks that my brother didn't get the opportunity, but I mean, only Canelo knows why it didn't happen. And you just gotta keep moving forward. You know, gotta keep moving forward. But it's gonna be a good fight to watch. I got Crawford on this one. The thing with him, he adjusts. He's a smart motherfucker. You know, he adjusts. He's not only does he switch from southpaw to orthodox, but he's just a smart. He has a high IQ in boxing, you know, and that's what I feel like. All these fighters that go in there to fight Canelo, they already go in there scared, is what I believe, you know, that which already beats him, you know. So Crawford's gonna go in there to fucking win. He's not gonna go in there to fucking lose. So I mean, I have it going Crawford, bro. To be honest with you.
You know, I love Crawford. He knows that. I've seen him. I've talked to him many times, and I wish him the best. I'm actually very happy for him and Bomac for everything they've done and the big fight that they're getting. You know, in this sport, making it to those fights and making it to those paydays, you got to be happy for anybody that makes it there. So Bomac knows, Crawford knows. Now I'm actually, after Canelo's performance, I'm actually leaning towards Crawford to win this fight.
Why is that? What changed?
Because I know Crawford's he's got the heart, he's got the speed, the skills, and he's gonna go out there. I was thinking he put up a good first 6 rounds, but then Canelo will start picking it up. But now I think Crawford will go for I think Crawford will get. I'm picking Crawford to win now.
Is this because you see a little slippage in Canelo?
I did.
What did you see with your keen eye that Canelo doesn't look? Where does he look different?
Well, look, he was looking for one punch at a time, and one punch at a time is not going to beat Crawford. That's not going to beat Crawford. You know, Crawford's not going to run like Scott did, but he's still going to box very smart, and he's going to counter punch, and he's fast, and he's got great skills. So now I pick Crawford.
And honestly, Canelo, you're a disgrace to Mexicans because you cannot cut off the ring. I hope Crawford beats the shit out of him.
Really? Yeah?
Now, I'll tell you like this, I mean, the weight division things, you know, but I hope Crawford beats the shit out of him.
Why?
I hope Crawford beats the shit out of him. I don't think it's going to happen because of, you know, the weight class gap and all that stuff, but I hope Crawford beats the shit out of him.
I really like this matchup, and I really like Crawford in the fight. I think with the experience Crawford has, and he can fight orthodox and southpaw, you know, he can give Canelo a lot of problems. You know, Crawford is young enough to where he could get out of the way of shots. He's fast enough and very smart. So I'm picking Crawford in this fight.
Terence Crawford, great fighter. I like very huge respect to him, and I think so. He's the best pound for pound fighter. But if he will move up, like he can beat Canelo.
You think so?
Yeah. But I don't know how he will be comfortable, you know, in this division. He will be like a slower, you know, because he will be bigger. He will be slower, you know. For a boxing fight, every boxing should be like a little like losing weight for speeding, you know, for light moving. It's not good for him, I think so, for Crawford. But that I know that and I see that he can get win.
Why do you feel that, and how does it look like?
By points. By points, yeah. Because Canelo will be like keep a hands and like walking. Crawford very smart and fast, you know, but in his weight division. But nobody knows how he will be feeling in the super middleweight. If he will be like in his shape, he will beat Canelo.
I see Crawford and Canelo having a good fight for the first 4 rounds, but then I see Canelo, you know, slowly commanding the fight and winning.
Why?
Because too big.
What do you make of Crawford moving up from?
I think Crawford's doing an excellent job moving up. He's great, man. He's very courageous. He's a great fighter, and he's doing all the right things. I just think Canelo's too big.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I've known him since he was a little kid. You know, 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, It's a great experience, great to see. He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. You know, one thing Canelo showed is that he could be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, you know, I think Crawford gonna have something for him.
I think that Canelo is not who he was 3-4 years ago. And I really wouldn't say he's declining, definitely not fast, but I mean his career is definitely not doing this. And it hasn't done this in 2 or 3 years, you know what I mean? So obviously it ain't a fast decline, but Canelo's certainly just not who he used to be.
How big of a factor then is it for Terrence? Is it the case that we've seen, you know, recently in history, the smaller guy, because he's quicker, more skillful, just completely because he's so much faster and skillful, surprises the bigger guy? Like, would we see that play out hypothetically in a fight with Canelo and Terrence?
Yeah, I mean, again, like when you look at Terrence Crawford, you imagine he's probably training at 160. He's probably training around 160, 155, 160, which means his body's not foreign to being as high as 165, even 168. So, yeah, okay, he doesn't come to the ring on fight night above 170. Canelo does, but then again, you're saying, hey, the faster, quicker, lighter fighter who more than likely has power and strength at that weight class because he is natural, his body weight is that weight class. He's cutting down to 47. He's cutting down to 54, you know? So it's just, I think those are the things that people don't know, and then they overlook certain components to a fight because they don't know those things, you know? I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. You know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. And there's components that not too many people are privy to knowing and understanding, and for me to explain it is a little, it will probably kind of go over your head. And I don't mean that you guys aren't intelligent and can't receive what I'm saying, but it's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terrence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So best we don't do it.
What round does Crawford get knocked out? I'm going to put 8. Let's put it on the universe. So I'm going to put it on 8. 8. And if it goes the other way, I 8. You know? I 8.
I'll be honest, Terrence Crawford is one of my favourite fighters of right now. He's absolutely amazing to watch, and I think him moving up 3 weight divisions, I don't think it's something that he can't do. I think Terrence Crawford could have a chance with anybody in the world, any weight category, obviously, excluding, the larger weights. But I think he's technically so good, he gives anyone a run for the money, and obviously in his weight class, and the weight class is 1 or 2 above that, I think he beats everybody. I think Terrence Crawford is definitely, I think he's the best out there at the minute in those sort of divisions.
I like Canelo.
Is it just a weight thing? Because you just said
so it is a weight thing. It is a weight thing with me. But the thing is, some people, fighters jump up. They usually have some kind of underdog, but still have kind of like a. I don't know how to say this, bro.
Grit,
people
grind still.
Canelo's a good ass fighter.
For everybody that was straddling the fence, straddling got your pants split at the seams. You got to pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford. He done signed up to do what everybody thought that he wasn't trying to be, a generational talent, another fighter on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Yeah, so don't split your pants. Pick one. I mean, you should knock him out. I mean, if Canelo ain't coming to do what he's been doing to everybody else, to a fighter that's coming up in, 2 weight classes, the onus and the responsibility is on the Canelo team and the Canelo fans to make it exciting. You already have something exciting in Terrence Crawford that's already stepping up into that squared circle where I believe there's nowhere to run or nowhere to hide. I don't care if it's 20 feet, 19 feet, or 18 feet. There's nowhere to hide when you got the skills to pay the bills. Crawford is going to put the stamp on it. Devin introduced you to it. It's the era of the boxer and not the puncher.
I think it's going to be a Tom and Jerry fight. At the end of the day, Crawford has not been looking really good. We saw how he looked in his past fight. So Canelo, like I said, the reflexes are not there. This power is not there. The knees are not the same. So Canelo's going to try to knock him out, but Crawford's going to do what he does best. He's going to move around, try to win the rounds, touch him, and move. I think if Crawford stays, Canelo can knock him out, because Canelo's the bigger guy. I don't think Crawford's going to come and give the fans what they want. He don't care. He's just going to come and win and beat them. I don't know if they're going to give it to him, but it's just going to be a Tom and Jerry fight.
Canelo had problems with most of the guys that box real good. I think that'd be everybody saying that Canelo is too big for him and all that. Crawford, if you move it up to 154, I think Crawford can handle that. What I mean by that, Crawford can box, he can move. He ain't got to bang with him. Because I wouldn't give him that advice to bang with him. I have him boxing and moving. Tying him up. Frustrate him, That's where I would beat him the best way I know how. I wouldn't even look for the knockout. Just go ahead and move and tie him up. Most of the time, if you notice when Canelo fights, most of the guys are stationary when he be catching them with them shots. But what you call him, he can do it all. Crawford does it all, man. Box inside, outside. He moves, He do good. He won Cater plan for him.
Yep.
He boxed him, he was doing good for a while, but he got caught up, on the ropes, standing and, try to bang with him, But he did good from the beginning, That's what I'm saying. He had problems with boxers, and you got to understand, Crawford is a hell of a boxer. Yeah, and Crawford can punch.
I think this is going to play out, man, like I always say, it's going to be a tough few rounds, until Terrence makes his adjustments, and then, like he does every fight, he's going to take it over and run away with it.
How does that look like?
Well, I ain't going to put it out there like that, but just looking for Terrence to dominate. Going through the home stretch.
Just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh because I travelled with him to the fight and, but it's a 50-50 fight. I think gun to head, I'm probably picking Crawford right now. But I want Canelo to win. And he can win for sure. But Terence is going to make it really tricky and awkward for him. And I don't think he's going to like that kind of fight.
When you say tricky and awkward with switching stances, like what do you mean
Moving,
by that?
fighting off the back foot.
Yeah.
A lot of, he'll engage a lot more than Skull, but he will be looking to do all the things where people have had success, which is use movement. Look at what Bivol did. Bivol had the perfect game plan. He boxed off the back foot, then he attacked, then he moved, then he, all that kind of stuff. I think Crawford will be looking to do exactly the same.
I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Marjamov did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different. You know what I'm saying? So you going up 3 weight classes because he was 47, 54, 60, 68. That's 3 weight classes. It's a major difference, man. And one thing is like, right, so people are saying Canelo has problems with movers. But the reality is Crawford's not a mover. Crawford's not a fighter that fights on his feet in the sense of boxing, kind of like, let's say, how a Pernell Whitaker would box or how Landy Lara would box. Crawford is a fighter that works on angles. He's not on his feet like Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? He's not that kind of boxer. So he's going to be there to get hit, And I feel like that favors Canelo because Canelo's gonna hit you in the arms. He's gonna hit you in the elbows. He's gonna hit anything you give him. He's gonna take it. You know what I mean? And now is Crawford just gonna switch his style and become a mover, moving up 3 weight classes? So now you're gonna put all that weight on your legs, and you never boxed like that before. How can you do that? I'm not saying he can't, but I just don't see him. I just don't see him changing his style. I think Crawford's a guy that he has heart, and I think he really is a fighter. I think it's going to come a time where if Canelo catches him, his pride and his ego is going to get in there, and he's gonna try to get his back. And I think that'll open opportunities for Canelo to land big shots.
It's a big difference. I mean, when I fought Donnie Lalonde, every time he hit me, he hurt me to a degree. Not knocking out, but he hurt me. Put it that way. He can do it. I mean, you can do it. No question about that.
You know, what about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap? Or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terrence.
I mean, that's true, but you know what? There's always a way. Put it that, there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
Look, is Terrence Crawford special? I feel he is. I feel he's a switch hitter. He's a great fighter in his respective weight class. I feel he's biting a little more than he could chew, and he's a great fighter. But I feel Canelo will end up hurting him with some shots. We'll see. If Crawford could take Canelo's best punch, then I could see Crawford, pulling out a victory. But he better not sit in the middle of the ring and bang with Canelo. I mean, don't do that. You know what's crazy is I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand. It's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel it's going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terrence will have great success. I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back or, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terrence Crawford go southpaw because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You could see Canelo, I could see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Raza. So I mean, we're looking for a great fight either way. But I got Canelo, coming out with the victory.
Canelo.
What do you think's the most significant part of that matchup in Canelo versus Crawford?
That he's comfortable at 168. That he's been fighting there. He went and collected all the belts at that weight class. Crawford, of course, Crawford has a chance. He has a big chance, being one of the pound-for-pound fighters of the world. But it's just the advantage of being there first. You know what to expect in that weight class. Crawford's coming off a 154 fight that he fought last year. So I really don't consider him even a 154. He's been fighting at 147 for a while. He had that one fight at 154, and then he stopped fighting for a year again. So, of course he's probably been training, again, high-class fighter. But to be comfortable at 168, you're going to have to do some fights in there. And going in there fighting the undisputed champion, it's going to take a toll.
It's going to be tough. Like, I don't know how he's going to do it. But I just know Crawford is so smart in that boxing ring that if anyone's to do it, he's definitely someone that can do it. So the weight stuff should be a rule, and it is in boxing that you're just not meant to jump it. You're not meant to jump multiple weight divisions like he's doing. But if it's Terrence Crawford and he's smart out there and he knows what Canelo has to offer, because Canelo's one, he's jumped up from weight divisions too. Like he used to be a welterweight a fairly long time ago, like I was. Look, I was the bigger, stronger guy, right, with Crawford. I was a bigger weight division. He was coming up. I thought I was going to be able to outmuscle him in there. And surely I feel like Canelo is switched on to that and knows better and has seen what he's done to other opponents, but he might not. He might be overconfident and he might think what I thought, and now I'll be able to easily run over the top of this guy with my size. And yeah, not to say that I'm any in the leagues of Canelo, that's for sure. I'm certainly not saying that, but I feel like the style that I bring is kind of the style I think that's probably in Canelo's head of what he's going to do to Crawford in this match, and I feel like he's got to think really smart about it because Crawford is a very, very, very good boxer, and I can just see him outworking Canelo and picking him apart.
Sinceramente es una gran pelea, ¿no? Una gran pelea que, para la afición, pero eh, si no hubiera tanta desventaja de peso, la pelea fuera 50-50. Pero como hay desventaja de peso, la pelea está un 75, hay una diferencia y creo que Canelo va a ser el victorioso esa noche.
I think it's going to be a great fight. There is a disadvantage in regards to the weight classes. If there wasn't, it would be a 50-50 fight. But because of this fighting at this weight class, definitely benefits Canelo. I say about a 75% chance that Canelo wins the fight.
What's more likely, in your opinion, William, that Terence wins a decision or that Canelo knocks out Terence over the course of 12 rounds?
En los 12 rounds, ¿qué sería lo que tú ves pasando más fácil, William? ¿Que lo noquea Canelo a Crawford o que Crawford gana una decisión de 12 asaltos?
No. Canelo no queda ante los 12 asaltos.
No, the Canelo would knock him out before the 12 rounds.
Would it surprise you if Terence won?
¿Te sorprende si gana Crawford?
Me sorprendería. Y es uno de mis boxeadores favoritos, pero como lo dije en la entrevista al principio, es uno de mis boxeadores favoritos en su peso. Ahora subiendo es diferente porque está boxeando con un boxeador natural de esa división, ¿me entiendes? Pero bueno, para mí me volvería a sorprender porque sinceramente es una leyenda que tiene muchas cualidades y para nadie es un secreto porque es un boxeador que tiene mucho nivel. Sinceramente, sí.
Yeah, it would surprise me. Again, for what I said earlier in the interview, he's going up in weight. And like I said, he's one of my favorite boxers. But it would definitely surprise me if Crawford would win this fight due to the facts that we stated earlier.
Hard pick. In my opinion, if Terence is Terence, if he's not going to gain weight, if he's just going to be himself, weighing in at under the 68 limit, and just being himself, I see it as a 50-50 fight. I believe that Terence can win on points, can do great. But if he's gonna gain weight and if he's gonna try to compete with Canelo in where Canelo is good at and strong, then I see Canelo as a favorite, and I think that Canelo may be able to catch and hurt Terence if he tries to work in on his field, where Canelo is good.
Canelo is big, had just as much experience as Bud had, has been a bigger fighter for years now, and has only gotten bigger and stronger as he's gone. So that's a fight that Bud got to say, okay, now my hands are full. Now I got to go get this mind right and focus and get myself to the best that I can be, because if I'm not at my very absolute best, I'm not going to beat this guy. That's a different mentality. So the mentality is what makes it interesting for me. Do I think Canelo can beat Bud? It's a tough fight to call. I think his size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to outbox Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox him.
Did you saw the fight Canelo American? Yeah. What happened in that fight?
Amir was winning the early.
He used speed. He move on the ring.
And then
Canelo knocked him out with one punch. Yeah. One punch.
Amir.
Yes, I know. You're looking for the chick for.
But they said like he doesn't have a good chin. Terence has a good chin.
Yeah, but I don't know what's. Torres Crawford needs to make the difference. I don't know why. I don't know. He need to use speed, move on the ring. He need to use everything on the ring. And then, for me, I don't like to see the fight. No. I don't like to see the fight. In the sport of boxing, every fighter fight in every division. Terrence Crawford he fought in 135, 140, 147. Right now he wants to make the fight in 154. Why? Just 154 is good for him, but 168, I don't like that. I think the experience and then the power, the overweight is for Canelo. It's advantage for Canelo. But I think Terrence Crawford is a good fighter. But I said, when you fight, you are the best fight in your division. If you want to fight in another division, maybe you lose the fight, because you lose the power. You lose the power if you grow up to another division. I think it's a difficult for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, but I think the fights and the sport of boxing isn't by division, right? In every division, featherweight, super featherweight, and every fighter wants to fight in every division. But I think Terrence Crawford is a good fighter, but the 168 pounds is too big for him. It's too big for him.
Do you
just 168 in the scale? What happened in another day?
when Canelo makes more weight?
Makes more weight, maybe 50 pounds, 20 pounds. Canelo will be fighting 185, 88, and Terrence Crawford what's made the weight in 168?
170 maybe?
Yeah, this is difference. Who has the power? Canelo. And then will be a great fight, but I think that's not good for Terrence Crawford.
Does he win? Do you think he would beat him? Would you be surprised if he beats him?
I don't think so. I know in sport of boxing you need to make the weight. Every fighter make to give the weight, right? Make the weight. I don't think Terrence Crawford. Es un buen peleador.
He's a good fighter.
Es a good fighter. Es un buen peleador, pero no es su peso.
But it's not his weight.
Nah, he needs to make the fights in his natural weight. 154. I think he wants to fight 158, 154. It's a good for him. That's good. That's it for this is the 150.
No more weight classes.
No more weight classes. That 154 and that's it. That's it. But me gustaría ver la pelea. I would like to see the fight, but I think it's no good for Terrence Crawford.